Welcome back. Our focus shifts now from the political upheavals of the past weeks to the issue of coexistence, which continues to prove a problem for post-war Sri Lanka. Still, we are not the only country to have faced this challenge. African Americans in the United States have fought long and hard to achieve equality, and that fight was spurred by the visions of those like Martin Luther King Jr. In our next story, we find out more about the legacy of one of the world's most famous civil rights leaders.
Freedom Medley by Soul Sounds, a fitting introduction to an exhibition and workshop on justice everywhere, through the legacy of the universally known civil rights leader Martin Luther King. In Sri Lanka, to take part in this commemorative event was his son, Martin Luther King III.
For in recent years, I've been blessed to have the opportunity to speak about my father around the world and who he was, and about his message of peace, nonviolence, and its meaning for people everywhere, regardless of country, culture, or faith.
A collaboration of the US Embassy and the Sahajivana Center, the exhibition at the Art Gallery in Colombo displayed images from the life of Martin Luther King and one of those who influenced his philosophy of nonviolence, Mahatma Gandhi.
It's in all the religions. It is the spirit which calls us to higher levels of being human.
The concept of non-violence for change in Sri Lanka was discussed through the interfaith perspective with the participation of spiritual and religious thinkers in the country.
The particular stereotype that is around in the world amongst all of us, whether in Sri Lanka or abroad.
Well, I think a lot of interesting things came out in the panel discussion in terms of the difference between being religious and religion. And one of the problems that we have faced, I guess, over the last, couple of thousand years is the fact that religion has become institutionalized. And when you create an institution out of religion, then you create boundaries.
Martin Luther King was born in 1929 and went on to lead one of the greatest civil rights struggles of the world, to win recognition and equal rights for African Americans. King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Since 2006, the organization known as Realizing the Dream works towards taking forward the message of nonviolence and justice around the world. In Sri Lanka too, they held workshops for youth and community leaders with the aim of creating a new generation of peacemakers in the world.
In the right and the proper way.
So, if peace is your goal,
Justice everywhere is a concept that is both timely and relevant for Sri Lanka, as it explores how to ensure peace and unity while recognizing the rights and aspirations of all people.
It's most important that we address this issue of the unity of all people of Sri Lanka, and I think this is a great opportunity for everyone to gain his words of wisdom and see how we can incorporate that those concepts into the situation in Sri Lanka.
We avoided violent bloodshed and massive revolution and made some changes, fundamental changes in our laws, so that now, 50 years later, Barack Obama can become president. Now, the situations between two countries are never exactly the same. So it's probably not up to me to tell Sri Lankans how to apply this lesson here. It's really up to the Sri Lankan people and the Sri Lankan citizens to figure out what's the best way to learn from this particular exhibit to deal with situations in their own country.
Lessons from the history of the world have demonstrated that it is possible to realize the dream. This exhibition event provides the evidence and inspiration for such learning and experience to influence that justice is indeed everywhere and for everyone.
Well, I certainly believe the philosophy of nonviolence in general, and that philosophy that yes, my father used to bring about change in America, and some of that has resonated around the world, perhaps could be applied in Sri Lanka. And sometimes is both sides have to forgive if there's to be total reconciliation. So I certainly believe that there is an application of Kingian nonviolence, and certainly, starting with Gandhi, could be applied, yes, to even specifically here in Sri Lanka.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that